In this module, you will learn about how to drive safely in rain and how to deal with flood. Rain. Driving in rain may not seem the critical safety concern for many drivers, but this weather condition can significantly increase the risk of a crash. Records have proven that the ratio of accident is much higher in rain as compared to normal weather conditions. This is because many people don't change their driving habits on wet roads. According to generic news, rain spell leads to an accident every 2 minutes. The rain makes the road slippery, especially just after it begins. The first few drops after a long dry period loosen the grease and dirt accumulated on the surface of the road. It creates the slippery film on road surface, which makes it extremely dangerous. Apart from the slippery road, rain causes driving hazards in relation to visibility, tire traction, aquaplaning, braking distance. Visibility. Rain affects the driver's ability to see through the vehicle windshield. It also reduces the driver's or rider's perception. This is because the rainwater acts like a lens which disperses the light so that much of it is reflected in different directions. As a result, the visibility reduces and the road marking also becomes almost invisible to the driver. Therefore, while driving in rain, following tips can help to improve the visibility. Before it starts to rain, replace old or brittle wiper blades. Use the various speeds on the windshield wipers to help remove the amount of water that is hitting the windshield. Turn on the headlights, low beam for better visibility and to be seen by others. Drive slowly. Be more alert, watching for brake lights in the front. Don't follow heavy vehicles, trucks or buses too closely, because the spray created by their large tires can reduce visibility. Tire traction. Water makes the road slippery, which reduces the tire traction. To improve the tire traction, motorists should: first of all, make sure the tires are in good condition and they are not worn out. Stay away from the pool of water accumulated on the road by driving in a lane where there is less water. If possible, drive in the tracks of a vehicle ahead as it would disperse the water. However, make sure to drive with a safe separation distance for the rain. Aquaplaning or hydroplaning. Aquaplaning, also known as hydroplaning, is when a layer of water builds between the wheels of the vehicle and the road surface, causing loss of traction that prevents the vehicle from responding to control. The grooves in the tread pattern of a rubber tire are designed to disperse water from beneath the tire, providing high friction even in wet conditions. So, at low speed, the water is fully dispersed by the tire. However, as the speed increases, a wedge of water forms in front of the tire. At high speed, tire encounters more water than it can dissipate. Water pressure in front of the wheel forces a wedge of water under the leading edge of the tire, causing it to lift from the road. The tire loses contact with the road and starts to skate or float on the thin sheet of water, which results in loss of control, meaning neither steering movements nor braking forces can be transmitted to the road. If multiple tires aquaplane, the vehicle may lose directional control and slide until it either collides with an obstacle or slows enough that one or more tires contact the road again and traction is regained. The factors that increase the likelihood of aquaplaning are speed of the vehicle, water depth on the road, tread pattern and depth, tire pressure. Avoid aquaplaning. To help prevent aquaplaning, motorists should reduce the speed according to the situation and do not exceed more than 80 km per hour on any road. Avoid slamming on the brakes, as it can cause the vehicle to skid and makes the brakes less effective. Try to stay in the middle lanes if possible, as water will tend to gather in the outside lanes first. Never drive through moving water if the ground is not visible, as the vehicle could be swept off the road. Make sure the tread pattern and depth are proper. To maintain the performance potential in the wet weather, it is recommended to use the circumferential grooves as it channels water away quickly. The tread depth needs to be 4 mm to channel enough water. Maintain the correct tire pressure in all the tires. Do not use cruise control in wet conditions. How to regain control if the vehicle aquaplanes. First of all, motorists should keep themselves calm and then check the mirrors, put on the hazard lights, grip the wheel firmly and avoid braking or accelerating. Reduce the speed gradually by releasing the accelerator. Once there is a feeling that the vehicle is under control, either brake gently or accelerate gently. Check the mirrors again for other vehicles getting too close. Tip: the best thing to do when aquaplaning is not to panic and avoid making any sudden movements. Usually, the vehicle will come back under control without any action on the driver's part. Braking distance. Braking distance depends on two factors: thinking distance, stopping distance. Both of these factors are affected by the rain. Thinking distance increases as the visibility reduces in rain. Stopping distance multiplies because there is less friction between the tire and the road. These ultimately affect the braking distance. For example, if a car is traveling at 60 km per hour in a dry weather condition, the braking distance would be approximately 33 meters before it comes to a complete stop. On the other side, if the same vehicle is traveling at 60 km per hour in wet weather conditions, the braking distance would be approximately 48 meters. Therefore, it is advisable to drive slowly in rain. Double the following distance as per the type of motor vehicle or motorcycle. For instance, if it is 2 seconds in normal weather conditions, increase it to 4 seconds. Even if the rain stops, do not speed up because the wet surface on the road could increase the braking distance. Remember, always allow extra time for safe travel, particularly during adverse weather conditions. Assessing the floodwater. Flood is when the input of water is greater than drainage can take away. It can occur after heavy rain. Floods are inherently dangerous because they can cause serious damage to the vehicle or its occupants. When heavy rains come, floods can happen in valleys as well as in many areas of the city. To be safe and, if at all possible, it is best to avoid driving through floods, particularly for motorcyclists. However, if it is a must to drive through the flood, motorists need to be extra watchful as there might be hidden dangers in the path, like sharp objects or deep holes. Therefore, before driving through one, it is important to assess the depth of the flood water and be absolutely certain that it is safe to do so. Keep in mind, for regular saloon vehicles, if the floodwater is above 50% of the tire height, do not drive through because the water may enter the exhaust pipe and stall the engine. If the floodwater has movement, avoid driving through it even if the level is below 50% of the tire height because the force of the water may sweep away the vehicle. When driving through the water, engage low gear and drive slowly while maintaining the smooth acceleration. If the vehicle has manual transmission, rev the engine by slipping the clutch to prevent the water from entering the exhaust pipe. All motor vehicles, especially heavy vehicles, should be very careful and do not splash the water on the sides and soak other motorists or pedestrians. In valleys, commonly known as BYDI in this region, the roads have water level markers to assess the floodwater. If the water level has reached to the red zone, then it is unsafe to cross the road in that particular area. Passing through thereafter. After driving through the flooded section of the road, avoid speeding as the brakes will not be efficient due to moisture. Motorists may step on the brakes repeatedly while still driving slowly to help remove the moisture until the brake efficiency is restored. After passing through the floodwater, even if the vehicle seems fine, it is always a good idea to immediately go through a complete checking, as many modern vehicles have sensitive electric components that may malfunction.